Hello there. Thank you so much for joining us. This is News Channel Nebraska. My name's Eric McKay. Let's take a look at our top headlines today. Beginning with a tragic update on a story out of Hastings that we've been following for the last several days. That exchange student that had been receiving treatment after being rescued from a pool has died at an Omaha hospital. The Hastings International Exchange Organization says the 13-year-old girl from Japan died early Sunday at Children's Hospital in Omaha. The incident happened Wednesday afternoon at the Hastings Aqua Court. City officials say the girl moved from the shallow end of the pool to the deep end, went underwater and never resurfaced. A lifeguard pulled the unconscious teen from the water and began life-saving measures. She was taken by ambulance to a local hospital, later flown to Children's Hospital. The city of Hastings, in the meantime, has decided to close the Aqua Court for the remainder of the season. In other news, a Norfolk man in jail accused of using a camera to spy on a downstairs neighbor. 49-year-old Curtis Kleinschmidt was arrested on Sunday. Norfolk police say they were called by a woman who said she found a camera in a bedroom vent in her apartment. That camera came from the upstairs apartment where Kleinschmidt lives. Police say they found cameras and other video monitoring equipment in Kleinschmidt's apartment, along with methamphetamine. He's housed in the Madison County Jail, facing numerous charges. Hurricane Debby strengthened into a Category 1 storm, making landfall in Florida's Big Bend region. 3 states have made emergency disaster declarations ahead of the storm, which is expected to slow down and dump historic, if not catastrophic, amounts of rain over the next few days. Brian Abel is in the part of Florida where they were hit just a year ago by a Category 3 hurricane.
A lot of panic going on, and it's understandable, especially with the people that got flooded 11 months ago when we had Idalia come through. 4th and 5th generation Floridians, the McDavids, have been through their fair share of storms, including last year's Category 3 Hurricane Idalia. A lot of wind, sporadic rain. You can get huge rainfall. The worst scenario is for it to sit offshore for about 3 days and dump 50 inches of rain or something. Unfortunately, that's a scenario that looks like it could come to fruition with this storm. According to the National Hurricane Center, Debby strengthened overnight Sunday into a Category 1 hurricane ahead of its expected landfall in Florida's Big Bend region. The storm is expected to slow to a crawl after landfall and unleash potentially historic rainfall in Georgia and South Carolina over the next few days.
Rainfall is expected to be around 20 inches in the area of Savannah and locally possibly even more. They're calling it a 500 to 1,000 year storm. And so with that, we're extremely concerned about flooding. Flooding and high water rescues were underway Sunday night in the Tampa Bay area as Debby closed in on Florida with hurricane force winds and heavy rains, signaling more of what's to come.
Make sure you're executing your plan now. There may be immediate impacts that you see, but you could also see flooding that happens days afterwards, after the storm passes.
In Steinhatchee, Florida, I'm Brian Abel reporting.
Closer to home, state senators met over the weekend for a rare Saturday hearing. The Revenue Committee heard Senator Julie Slama's 16 constitutional amendments, after which the senators now spending days crafting an encompassing bill that will contain the proposal to address property tax relief. Senators say they hope to have that bill ready to go by Wednesday, at which point debate will start. Senators will also have to consider separate tax relief bills introduced at the behest of Governor Jim Pillen, LB 2, 3, and 4. Those 4 bills all expected to be debated this session. Now, the next few days playing an important factor as to which bills make it into the comprehensive property tax bill, and 2 of them go hand in hand with legalizing recreational marijuana in the state. The first bill, introduced by Senator Justin Wayne, would remove the drug from the controlled substance list and establish rules for selling marijuana for people 21 and older. The other, by another Omaha senator, Terrell McKinney, centers around the framework on how the tax revenue would be doled out. And those behind the bill say it would help generate a lot of money. The bill's being debated through this week before the final package is finalized. Debate is expected to start this Thursday. Well, video games are more part of kids' lives than ever before, and a competition in northeast Nebraska brought all ages with the interest together over the weekend. the Norfolk Land Party in its 5th year, hosting its 10th version of the event. Organizers say each year they see new faces come to the event, which underscores the growth and cultural impact around the gaming space. One mom new to the Norfolk area says for her son, it's provided a way to meet other kids with similar interests.
When you're in school, there's always the sports kids, the theater kids, there's all sorts of little groups. And now there's the gaming kids, and they're not outcasts anymore. You can come here and meet a bunch of people that have all the same interests.
Proceeds from the event go toward area nonprofits. Kids and adults could win prizes by winning the tournaments or raffles or just playing games with others throughout the weekend. Organizers say now they hope to split the tournaments into 2 different brackets and get more of the area colleges involved in the future. Northeast Nebraska, meanwhile, played host to Living History this past weekend. Humanities Nebraska's annual Nebraska Chautauqua held in Norfolk this past weekend with the theme Weaving a Nation. The gathering featured multiple breakout sessions at venues like the Norfolk Public Library, Norfolk Arts Center, and Northeast Community College, focused on lesser-known stories of U.S. history. Saturday featured scholars portraying historical figures at the Cox Activity Center. Colorado-based performer Jessica Downing Ford portrayed former First Lady Abigail Adams, while Creighton professor Taylor Keene portrayed his own 5th great-grandfather, Chief Big Elk. Humanities Nebraska has been hosting Chautauquas annually since 1983. This was the first time it had been held in Norfolk since 2014. Well, in the history of the national pageant, it had never happened until Sunday. A winner from Wisconsin, Trinity Peshko of Phillips, Wisconsin, the winner of the 2024 Miss Czech-Slovak U.S. Queen pageant held at Wilbur's Outdoor Theater. She was also the Grand Talent winner of the competition and the Oratory Award winner. First runner-up, Ashley Hine of Yukon, Oklahoma. Second runner-up, Camille Katosh of Omaha. The Miss Congeniality Award went to Missouri Queen Catherine McGee of Kansas City. This year, a silent auction was held, raised over $3,000 to support the pageant, which is now in its 37th year. The National Czech Festival itself finished up Sunday with celebration goers braving temperatures over the weekend near 100. This is a new law was celebrated, creating a Czech license plate in Nebraska. It's the result of a legislative bill offered by State Senator Tom Brandt of Plymouth. He represents the 32nd district that includes Wilbur. The alphanumeric plate will cost $5. Personalized plates, though, cost $40. The plates will be sold beginning in January of next year. And finally, a Nebraska watering hole with the title Oldest Bar in the West experiencing a major shift. Michael Shively heads to historic 11th Street in Columbus to tell the story.
Yes, this is a picture everyone sees. This picture's from 1899.
Looking at the walls of Glur's Tavern in Columbus is like flipping through the pages of a history book.
This one right here is Louis Glur behind the bar, so it's somewhere between 1914 and 1931.
It's a book that's about to start a new chapter.
I'm behind the bar in the beard, and that's my brother.
Todd Troffels and his wife Carrie have owned the oldest tavern west of the Missouri River for 32 years.
And this is my wife and my daughter right there.
Their last day as owners is Sunday.
I went in to get my knee looked at, and they replaced my hip, so I think my knee's coming up next.
But don't worry, the bar that opened in 1876 and survived Prohibition isn't closing.
And that was my main concern because, it's been running all this time continuously.
It's a relief for regulars like Barb and Mike Sedlick.
As a kid, we'd just come over here all the time.
I've probably been coming in here, I know, more than 50 years.
Tom and Deb Losky have been customers for more than 4 decades. They even showed up on their wedding day.
Back then, everybody came here on their wedding day, so you couldn't miss that opportunity.
The allure of Glur's includes the food.
This would be the locally famous Glur's Tavern hamburger and cheeseburger. This grill might be 80 years old or so. It's the key to the taste. I think it's just seasoned so well, Try to cook on not real high heat, medium heat, so I don't burn them.
The bar's state and national history draws visitors from all over the country.
Buffalo Bill supposedly pulled out a $1,000 bill to buy the house around, and it said on the article on the wall that William Booker about fainted.
But it's really the personal history that keeps people coming to the 148-year-old tavern generation after generation.
You get to see a lot of people that you haven't seen in a long time.
Just about every single one of our class reunions have Friday night or Saturday or sometime we all come down to Glur's. I mean, Glur's is one of the main staples of Columbus.
It's just in the thread of the community and one of the most important parts of our history.
People like coming here because of the people that are customers. They come and see their friends.
That will continue under the new ownership. But like every fresh chapter, it won't be the same as the previous.
My family's been very supportive. All of my kids, I made them work here. They always didn't love it, but, you know, and my mom and dad helped. And I had aunts and uncles that helped here. Yeah, it's going to be hard.
Truffles, though, will still be a witness as the pages of Glur's Tavern history turn.
Oh, I'm sure I'll wander in here. There's too many friends in here, so.
In Columbus, Michael Shively, News Channel, Nebraska.
And you can stay up to date with the very latest by following us online. Head to newschannelnebraska.com. Click on the News tab there. You can also follow us on X, like us on Facebook and Instagram as well. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day. You're watching News Channel Nebraska.